There are moments in life when it feels like everything turns at once. Rumors start. Invitations stop. Messages get left on read. People who once laughed in your face now whisper when you walk by. It feels organized, almost planned, like someone decided to test how much pressure one person can take. And the first instinct is to react, to call it out, to defend every little lie, to clear the air. But here's the hard truth: reacting is exactly what keeps the fire burning. Some people don't attack because they're strong. They attack because chaos gives them purpose. And when nothing comes back at them, no angry text, no public meltdown, no desperate explanation, it throws them off balance. Silence is uncomfortable, not just for the one holding it, but for the ones waiting to see a reaction. That quiet restraint becomes a wall they can't climb. At first, staying quiet feels like losing. It feels weak. The mind keeps replaying conversations, thinking of better comebacks, sharper responses, perfect explanations that would finally win. But most fights aren't about truth. They're about ego, about control, about seeing who can get the bigger reaction. The moment someone stops trying to win, the whole game changes. The gossip doesn't hit the same when there's no emotional explosion attached to it. The insults lose energy when they aren't answered, and that's when something interesting happens. The ones pushing buttons start pushing harder. Not because they're confident, but because they're confused. No reaction means no control. And people who rely on control start to panic when it slips through their fingers. There's also the pressure from the sidelines. Mutual friends asking what happened. Family members saying, "Just talk it out." Coworkers fishing for drama. It feels like everyone wants a statement, a side, a breakdown, and it's tempting to give one. To sit down and explain the full story, every detail, every betrayal. But most listeners aren't looking for clarity. They're looking for entertainment. Once the story is told, it spreads, twists, grows legs. Suddenly, private pain becomes group discussion. Holding back isn't about pride. It's about protecting peace. Not every situation needs a public trial. Not every lie needs a defense. Sometimes the strongest move is letting people believe whatever makes them comfortable and walking away from the circus entirely. What really gets under toxic skin is growth without permission. When someone expected collapse and instead sees calm progress, it irritates them. They thought isolation would break confidence. They thought silence meant weakness. But instead of begging for understanding, time gets spent working, building, fixing habits, cleaning up personal messes. No announcements. No dramatic comeback speeches. Just steady improvement. That's when the shift becomes obvious. The same folks who tried to shake the foundation start watching from a distance. Not cheering. Not apologizing. Just watching. Because nothing frustrates a manipulator more than realizing the target didn't stay stuck. Staying calm while others spiral isn't easy. It takes swallowing pride. It takes sitting through lies without correcting every word. It takes hearing that someone called you fake, cold, selfish, and not running to prove otherwise. But here's something real. When someone loses access to your reactions, they expose themselves. The louder they get, the more obvious the insecurity becomes. Calm energy next to chaos makes the chaos look foolish. And the funny part, no grand speech is needed. No revenge plan, just consistency. Show up, do your work, keep your circle tight, let actions speak quietly. Over time, people notice who stayed steady and who kept swinging wildly. A lot of attacks are just projection. People uncomfortable with their own choices don't like seeing someone choose differently. Someone who stops drinking gets called boring. Someone who stops oversharing gets called secretive. Someone who sets boundaries gets labeled difficult. It's easier to criticize growth than to face personal stagnation. So the attacks come disguised as jokes, advice, or concern. You've changed. You're not the same. Of course things changed. Growth changes things, and not everyone benefits from that change. The uncomfortable part is realizing some relationships were built on a smaller version of you. Once that version disappears, so does the comfort others had. There's another layer nobody admits out loud. Sometimes the people who tried to corner someone weren't strangers. They were close, old friends, a partner, someone who once had full access. And when that access changed, the reaction wasn't sadness, it was retaliation. Cold shoulders, subtle digs in front of others, stories told in a way that made one side look unstable. That kind of hit lands deeper because it feels personal. But here's what experience teaches. When someone can't control the new version of a person, they try to control the narrative instead. That's why staying steady matters. No scrambling to defend reputation. No dramatic counterattacks. Just distance. Just calm. Because time exposes bitterness faster than arguments ever could. And once the emotions cool off, the pattern becomes obvious. The ones who moved with quiet strength kept their dignity. The ones who tried to win through noise ended up revealing exactly why access had to be removed in the first place. And then there's the final shift. The moment when the whole situation stops feeling like a battle at all. No more checking who viewed stories. No more wondering what's being said in rooms not entered. Life starts feeling lighter because attention isn't glued to the drama anymore. Work gets better. Sleep gets better. Conversations feel real again. That's when it clicks. The real score was never about proving innocence or exposing lies. It was about protecting peace, about refusing to let outside chaos decide internal stability. The funny thing is, once that level of calm settles in, the same people who once tried to shake everything sometimes circle back, softer now, curious even. But by then, the need to react is gone. Growth happened quietly. Strength built quietly. And the loud storm that once felt overwhelming, it ends up looking small compared to the stability built afterward. One thing that doesn't get said enough is how lonely it feels in the middle of all this. When the noise first starts, it feels like standing alone in a crowded room. People go quiet around you. Some avoid eye contact. Others act overly nice, which is worse because it's fake. That isolation messes with your head. It makes you question yourself. Was I wrong? Did I push too hard? That's the trap. Toxic environments thrive on self-doubt. The moment you start shrinking to make others comfortable again, the cycle resets. But sitting in that loneliness without folding builds something solid. It forces you to get comfortable with your own company, to stop needing constant reassurance, to realize that being alone for a season is better than being surrounded by people who secretly enjoy your struggle. That phase feels heavy, but it clears out fake support and leaves room for real connections that don't depend on you staying small. And here's the part most people won't admit. Once you truly detach, some of the same individuals who tried to shake you will feel the shift. Not because you announced it, not because you confronted anyone, but because energy changes when someone stops caring about approval. There's a different posture, a different tone, fewer words, more focus. That calm indifference unsettles people who fed off reactions. They may test the waters again. Small comments, subtle jokes, random check-ins. Not to fix things, but to see if they still have access. And when they realize the door is quietly closed, something clicks. Not for you, for them. Because the real power move was never revenge. It was emotional discipline. It was learning to let people misunderstand you and still sleep peacefully at night. And once that skill locks in, no group pressure, no gossip, no silent treatment can shake you the same way again.